Hi, assalamu alaikum. This is a different video, right? Usually, like there's a video I saw recently of how life that you presume you have when you're in the UK and the shaggy life is showing you in the UK. So, unlike how people say it's not as if UK is bad, UK is actually a place to be. What's the fascinating thing for me as a Muslim? Back to that, let me introduce myself. My name is Mariam Oduma Yonuruddin Arili, a legal practitioner qualified to practice in Nigeria. So if you're still having issues in Nigeria that you have cases and things to consider, legal issues, you can still consult me. Number two, in area of the fact that I'm a law student, rounding up my LLM, international law, conflict security and human rights at the University of Hull. I currently reside in Hull, and my videos are catering for Muslims, basically for Muslims, but you find the questions I answer and topics I discuss, you find it useful whichever way, because basically the life of Muslim, we want the life of ease. And today I'm going to be talking about work, work, work. So because aside from that, I'm a graduate student, I currently am an admin to about three groups in Hall, both the current LLM, more than three, right? Current LLM student that are the new intake LLM international law student, where I share my ideas, share my experiences in the last 1 year, and the LLM admin in my own cohort, the 2021-2022 LLM, and I've been most successful. So the need for this YouTube is as important as possible so that there will not be like repetition, cause stressing myself on the same thing every time. So today I'm going to be talking about working in the UK. So there's this video that I shared on my WhatsApp was it yesterday or a few days ago, where I shared the the kind of life we had thought that we're going to live when we get to the UK, and the life we're living now, where you think that you just get into a car, go and ride. Actually, people drive cars, people have their cars. It's easy to buy, like people get cars within 3 weeks or 2 weeks, or even arrive in the UK within 3 days. It's something like car is something I can actually get, but it's just that the stress in the UK is much. However, with the stress comes its own money. So the video was not like how you're trying to rush to meet the boss for people like me that we don't drive and just walk, 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 and planning life. So now it's necessary for me to let you know that to get job in the UK, it's a job. Anything in the UK currently, especially this influx of people, like it means like it's like an invasion. But nevertheless, there's spaces, enough space for everybody. It's just that you need to now sell yourself well. So what are the different? What's different? Why are you know when you consider so many things, that why am I what's the different thing I want to do in the UK? What are the opportunities that I couldn't get in Nigeria? How can I make myself stand out? So the problem is not Nigeria itself, it's not even the location. But if you cannot make yourself stand out in your area of specialty, you just be like every other person. Number one thing to getting a good job in the UK is find the right connect. People that you come in when you arrive into their ends would frame your thoughts and help you in deciding your career plan sometime. So you have to be careful who you move with. So most people will shout care job, care job, care job. I think there was a video about a woman that was a banker in Nigeria and is a cleaner, and that's even correct person that said that she's not a cleaner, she's a care worker. So care worker, is it a dirty job? Is it this? I want to burst your bubbles. The most job that you will get in the UK as a student, not a dependent, but as a student studying in a university, a postgraduate study, or even an undergraduate study, is that you have to work part-time jobs. So it's easy to find part-time job in jobs that we ordinarily consider menial jobs, like bar, tender, waitress, cleaner, care workers. um you work as an unqualified teacher, you work as a staff, an administrative assistant, a paralegal is one of the jobs that are very, very common. We have steward jobs. It's just like an usher that now the usher events, football shows, football conferences. And we have factory workers, we have people that are in the warehouse. So one of the things I want to let you to in busting your bubbles is that there is no menial job. You can call it menial job in Nigeria, but every job brings its own money. Officially, some of these jobs are, we call them essential workers. Especially care job is an essential worker's job. It's a job that people do, like they need them in demand. So one of the things that we need to know is that we have this long life expectancy in the UK. People, the average lifespan is not 70 like in Nigeria. We have people going old as 100, as old as 120, as old as 90. Like I met a lady who came to greet her. I met them, they were on, I don't know where I met them. So they were three. The youngest was 80 something. She came to greet her elder sister, and they said they had one other sister at home, and the eldest was like 92. So for you to an 86-year-old coming to greet a 92-year-old sister or 96-year-old sister means that the life expectancy is sensible. So one of the things I need to know is you have to bring out that, the shoulder pad that you're bringing from Nigeria cannot work in a manager job. The thing is, do you have the strength? Do you have the grit? Do you have the future in your hands? So some of these jobs that we call manager jobs are actually jobs that you can actually get. That's why they said the 120-hour cap, because these are jobs that are within low demand. They're not low demand, but like they don't require so much skills. We have jobs in Tesco's, people that work in cashier, teller, administrative assistant, as I said. So these jobs, they will not earn you so much money, but definitely you're a student, you're coming an international student, they won't want to give you jobs that are like people do that. It's not like you won't see good jobs. But what's the meaning of good job? The meaning of good job is relative. What people focus on abroad is labor, the labor force. It's not about what kind of job you are doing. Is this money, as a Muslim, the question you should ask, is this money halal? Number two, this money not involving fawaish or language, it doesn't involve doing the haram things, like maybe you're not, it doesn't have to do with pork. Now we have to be very, very careful. I remember that one of my acquaintances, one of my friends, that was like, we're talking about jobs and things. I was like, I can't do this kind of job. I can't do this kind of job. I can't eat this kind of meat. I can't. When I mentioned that my halal, I go straight to the point about my halal eating. So the man was not like, why do you think that? Why do you think that we cannot eat what we want? We have to compromise. I said, we don't have to compromise. Maybe in the time past when all of you came, when you were elderly ones, when the Muslim community was not so saturated. But here in the UK, we have a large percentage of Muslims. Do you know we have Islamic Bank of Britain? I know this as far back as 6 years ago or 10 years ago when I watched Islam channel from Nigeria. So for you to know that Islam has gotten to a stage that there's a cliche about sales in this country. When I want to eat out, I'll just sometimes they will just bring, I don't even eat out when I'm home, and you will see in front of your room or in front of your entrance of your house, they will just drop different meals and adverts for restaurant, and they'll now tell you they serve halal. It's a market strategy. The number of Muslims in the country is halal. It's not halal. I won't use the word halal. Like, it's big, it's huge. And like I said the last time, I said in Bradford, we have in Birmingham, we have in Manchester, we have in Leeds. In Hull now, we have a considerable number of Muslims. So when I came into the UK and when I came into the University of Hull, I could count the number of person wearing the hijab that were from Nigeria. But for the people that are from Pakistani, India, and Asian country, they had a large number of Muslims already. So this year, I see people with more people that were in jilbab from Nigeria. So let me tell you, don't be scared. I remember that somebody was telling me that when you get to the UK, you don't have to wear this kind of hijab. And I was like, I just said, that's what you're saying. It didn't even come to my mind that there will be problem with hijab because I'd researched the country I was coming into. So that's what I said, let you know that you can do any kind of job as long as it's halal. That's question number one. Is it halal? Number two, is the job going to make you compromise? So people are working in care, the first thing you should know is that you can wear your clothes, you can wear the hijab, you don't have to wear scarf. But there are some hijab that are meant for care jobs. I think I sent a video to someone that wanted, because I know a few people that people are doing care. Care is like one of the most popular jobs you get. And there are two types of care job. We have the support job and we have the care assistant, the one that will take care of everything. So support can just be someone that will just sit down, be looking, just take those people out to follow your clients out to, they're going for a visit. The people that maybe some people that are autistic in nature, maybe they are ADHD, they are suffering mental health. Some of them are even people that are old, or just old. They are not even, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just handling dementia. They can handle themselves. They can do things themselves. They just need to just be there as a friend, just a glorified friend. Like, you're just being paid to be their friend, paid to assist them at home, paid to iron their clothes. They're just those kind of jobs, right? So you don't have to compromise. So what will you do if you're just coming to the UK or you've not arrived the UK? If you've arrived the UK, you can get skirts, long skirts in Primark. If you're wearing skirts, if you're someone that wears skirts, you don't have to wear trousers because you want to work in care. You don't have to wear trousers because you want to work anywhere in the UK. You can wear what you want to wear. You can wear your hijab. But we have job appropriate hijab, just as we have nurses wearing the hijab. So you can wear the regular hijabs that are short, not short like shorts, but they cover your bosom, they cover your aura, what the Quran had stipulated. You can get skirts that are bigger than your sizes. I do not wear fitted skirts right from time, so you can wear skirts that are just a little bit bigger than your sizes. Then you have the shirt from your job. Then if you're working in office, it doesn't that's even the one of the best thing. You wear office wear, you wear, like if you're a lawyer, there's no problem with that. When you're working in paralegal, you can wear a skirt, you can wear whatever you're comfortable in. So I remember that one I wanted to ask my friend that, can I join this stewardship that all of you are doing? And she was like, you cannot do it, Joe. They don't allow you to wear trousers. I was like, let me even try it. I wasn't trying it for myself, but because I wanted to have a feel. My life in the UK is like experimenting I want to experience every single thing that is within the bounds of Islam, so that I can help others, and just to dispel rumors that you can't do this, can't do that. So when I went for the stewardship job, it was very, very stressful for me. I don't like stress in my life. I like the easiest route to making money, that is halal. So I'd rather read to make money than to work ethic. So that day was a particular, I think it was a bank holiday. So they were going to make a bank holiday baby. So let me follow them. So when I went there, I wore my skirt, I wore my hijab, I wore what they asked me to wear within the bounds of my dean and within the bounds of their official office requirement. And I still got the job and I still went and there was no problem. So that was what I knew, that you don't have to give in to your friend. So they might not do it out of, you have to know that they might not do it out of they want to spite you, or they want to play the religious role, but they just feel like because we're coming from Nigeria, the issues of they will not allow you to do this and that, it doesn't work that way. The freedom of religion, it's so interesting. I'm going to make a video on child study, going to school, education, how your freedom of religion does not affect religion. So I'm going to talk about that on a separate video. So what do I want to say about this? So you have the right to wear anything within the bounds of your job and within the bounds of Islam. So you don't have to compromise in, like, you don't have to stop wearing skirt because you're in the UK. You don't have to stop wearing hijab. I knew that when I traveled, this is not my first time traveling, right? So when I traveled in the first time, and things weren't looking like the way I wanted and planned, but people were like, don't, you cannot do this thing. You already let us. I said no. I always dispel rumors. I want to try the waters and see that this thing is it really the true thing. I remember when in law school, you be like, you cannot do this, you're in law school. Even in the university, of all, there are many barriers that I broke, and there are many, or like I say, records that I broke, because I feel that things cannot just go on the way they were. And you ask, only need to ask, and you'll be given. You don't have to just follow the mantra. You have your right, you have the freedom of religion, freedom of how will I say, freedom of expression. So another job that you need to consider, that you could consider, is unqualified teaching job. Are you a teacher in Nigeria? Have you taught in any capacity as a tutorial teacher or just assisted to teach people? Then you could qualify for an unqualified teacher. So what do they need from you? Teaching experience. Number two, yeah, you need a DBS. They will do your DBS for you. You pay them, or if you have a childcare workforce DBS. Number three, you have to bring a police clearance certificate. So this is initially, when I was coming to the UK, I felt like, what do I need a police clearance for? I didn't even know. People were saying they would do it. And eventually, most of my classmates or people that we moved into the UK together did not need it. But when I needed to switch to being an unqualified teacher, or they don't call it unqualified teacher, they call it teacher cover supervisor. It's just because, why is it unqualified teacher? It just means that you are not qualified to teach in the UK. You don't have a PGC and you don't have the QTS, which you can always do. Some lecturers even teaching in university eventually have this PGC, so like you don't have to have it to teach. One of our trainings, one of our the consultant that trained us was like, he didn't go to the university at all, and he was teaching as an unqualified teacher for 20 years. And it was about 15 years after before he said, okay, as a mature, so let me go for a master's. So he's not really like unqualified, just like teaching is like a law profession, like the law profession, they are regulated profession that you cannot just switch in without getting your licensing or qualified to be in this country. So every country has its own style. So, and you know that United Kingdom is different. Like, you have the United Kingdom, we have the three countries that make up the United Kingdom: Wales, Scotland, the four countries, North Ireland and England. So the rules in Scotland can be slightly different, but I'm talking about the rules in England. So you need a DBS for teaching, covering. You need a police clearance certificate from Nigeria. They call it overseas clearance, or overseas police report, but we in Nigeria call it police clearance certificate. And number four, you need to register with them. Like, that, the first thing is you need to register with them. You upload your CV, the request for your CV, prefer for request for your references that have like that can show that yes, you actually taught in a previous position. And we also have some other kind of jobs, administrative assistant. What you require for administrative assistant is basically number one, being able to work in the office, having Excel, PowerPoint, like Microsoft Office, be proficient in Microsoft Office. And looking for a job, as I told you, is not an easy task. You don't look for a job like you work in Nigeria. I don't know when I'm going to share the ways to landing a job in the UK easily for you. So these are the I don't want to talk too much. I've spent about 15 minutes sharing my experiences on different jobs that you could do. Then for let me say something about the working in in a store or supermarket like Tesco, Sainsbury, Lidl, Audi as sales assistants. Then we also have this app, like I shared last time. I don't know whether I've shared it. I think I made a video, but I didn't know if I uploaded it. Was Indeed app. On Indeed app, you can actually we have the Indeed app for looking for a job, uploading your CV, and they call you for interview. Then we have the Indeed Flex. Indeed Flex is like an app, an agency on the app. So the agency on the app, you apply, you upload your PRP, you upload your British resident permit, your passport, your NI, that's a national insurance number, you upload necessary documents, and you can interview on the app for a job. And they will now start assigning you to job. You could be a chef. You can actually work as a chef. You can work as an assistant chef. You can work as an housekeeper, salesperson, work in a warehouse. So they assign you jobs at there are shifts in everywhere in the country. So one of the benefit of working on Indeed Flex is that I didn't work in Indeed Flex, but I'm sharing you with friends and colleagues who have told me how they did it. Is that the benefit of Indeed Flex is that you can just travel to Sheffield tomorrow and you will see an alert that there's a job role there. You just do, or you go for the weekend in a place. You don't just waste money. Just money will just be working with you. Like money is on the move. You don't have to be situated in a particular location, and most times you don't even see job in your community. You might have to travel out of town, and that's one of the good things. You get to know other places. Another one is we have agencies. So working in a care home or working in most jobs come with you have the permanent job role, full-time job role, and we have the part-time job role. What's the meaning of permanent job role? Permanent job role is a role that you are contracted to work with them permanently, like for the next 1 or 2 years. We have the full-time job. Full-time job is like you work 40 hours per week, Monday to Friday, or Monday to whichever way you do it. At least you must work 40 hours per week because we work in by hourly. Most jobs are hourly. So the full-time job is 40 hours per week. Then we have part-time. Part-time could mean 24 hours per week, 20 hours per week, 36 hours per week, 17.5 hours per week. It depends on how part-time it is. So you can also have a permanent full-time job or a permanent part-time job. Then we have contract job. Contract jobs are those that just within 3 months, they are time bound, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and you're done. Then you go back to the labor market again. So you can work in two agencies. Don't have agency work. Agency work are jobs that are outsourced. It's like what we have in Nigeria is a casual worker. So casual workers will work as like you work in like an agency, they assign you to go and work in another place. So for care homes, when you work in an agency, they assign you to a particular care home. If for care work, I mean, you can go to a care home, residence, someone's house, or work in domiciliary when you go to different person's house, or you just work as a support person, maybe just call you for some okay we are going outing with this person for the whole day so that the person will be observed so that they don't have issues. Then why we have agents, so most of the teaching assistancy pro that we have are usually by agencies. They write agencies online. So how do I say it? So when you work with these agencies, they just call you any morning, maybe today. How can you tell me your availability for this day? As I sound, can you share me your availability for the week? You share them your availability, then they share you jobs either by your mail, your WhatsApp, by messages, depending on what the modus operandi of the agency. Is there anything I've missed that you need to ask? Are there jobs in cities? There are jobs in the UK. However, depending on your city, you don't have to confine yourself to your community. Sometimes working out of the town, some jobs actually give you more extra pay, like they pay for transport. Some jobs don't pay for transport, and sometimes just factor in your transport in your job. Another thing I want you to consider: some jobs will come with like 15 hour per week. Consider that those when you want to take a job, consider the hour you're going to spend on the route to job, the stress is going to go it's going to take you at the job. Then when you're coming back, factor in your food, your meal, and all that, because some jobs might take you that you might not even be able to eat all day. The stress the job will take you through. So sometimes you might see a £10 shift that will be easy, and you see a £15 shift that will be easy, and also sometimes see a £20 shift that per hour shift that will be stressful. So they are averagely nine. You can see there are some those that pay up to less than, they pay like £8.50 per hour, £9.50 per hour, and up it can go up onto 20 per hour, 20 hour per week, £20 per hour. But please do not be covetous. Do not work beyond the 20 hours um stipulation. Do your best to follow the rules. There are cash jobs, there are jobs that through, there are so many jobs you can see, but just be careful. If you, the best thing is to come with your dependent, but when you don't have, what are the alternative you need to do? Pay as much as possible, pay your school fees, some amount of numbers of your school fees in your country, like in Nigeria, from because I'm in Nigeria. So just want you, what I want to tell you is that just make sure that whatever you are doing, please, please, and please remember that you are a representative of Islam as a Muslim, and if you're not a Muslim, a representative of your religion, then representative of your country, Nigeria. And if you're a Yoruba girl like me, you're a representative of your country, of your nation, not nation, like your tribe. And if you believe you're from a good home, just remember that. Rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ò ń ṣe. Yoruba will say, remember where home you are coming from. If you have children back home, you have family, just try to make a good impression, that you don't spoil the name of your family. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.